Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on which part of the world you're watching us from. This is Davies live at the Channel A TV Virtual Studios. We have a special guest in the building. I'm talking about the Queen herself, Miss Allison Cook, all the way from Oregon State. And she's tuning in live, and we have an opportunity to talk to her, ask as many questions as we can. I am so excited. This broadcast is brought to you, of course, in collaboration with Meet the Queens and DC Productions. So we're so excited. Before we dive into the broadcast and learn a little bit more about what's going on, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to be live in the studio with Miss Allison. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back. This is Davis one more time at Channel A TV. Now, we are excited this evening to talk to Miss Allison because she's a very, very interesting young lady. She is actually a clinical imaging specialist, and you'll find out more details about what she does for a living. And she has a lot of interesting special traits about her life and everything else that she does. So she's a very, very tall young lady. She's about 6'1", you know. Don't be intimidated, but she's nice. So we're going to find out all the details about that. And without wasting too much time, let's bring in Miss Allison. Stay tuned live here at Channel A TV. And ladies and gentlemen, there she is, the Queen, Miss Allison. Hi, how are you doing?
So good, Davis. Thank you so much for having me this evening. I have been waiting for weeks to talk with you. So thank you. Thanks for making time for me. And hello, everybody watching. Nice to meet you from Oregon.
And we're matching too. I didn't even think about we're matching. You know, you should have let the brother know that we're wearing something nice. I could have switched up a little bit.
There we go. Yeah, I think it's a good sign, huh?
Sounds good. Sounds good. So it's good to see you, man. How have you been?
I've been doing well. Gosh, I've been crowned, I think, about 6 weeks ago, if you can believe it. And time has been flying. So can't wait to talk about some of the things that I've been up to and what we've got in store coming up the next couple of months.
Absolutely. Allison is a very complex and interesting, young lady, a whole bunch of things going on in your life. So I'm excited to have a conversation with you. And so to begin with, first of all, congratulations for becoming the new Miss Oregon, U.S.A. 2021 Queen. This is amazing. And congratulations for that. And we're excited for you because we're going to watch you on TV as you compete for the Miss USA. How do you feel about that?
Thank you. I mean, gosh, even though it's been 6 weeks, I don't think it's settled in yet. This has been a 9-year journey for me in pageantry. Yeah. And so this is a moment that I have been preparing for quite a while. So I can't wait to celebrate with my friends and family and really look forward to getting ready for the Miss USA stage.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So your platform is very interesting. So tell the viewers right now, what your platform has been for, your journey. And I know it's something that's personal for you because you are going through it right now. But before we dive into that, just tell us a little bit about your platform.
So my black platform, is called Brain Injury Awareness. I have had 5 concussions, and I deal with the lasting symptoms of these concussions every single day. So my goal is to have brain injury therapies more accessible to everyone. And that starts with appropriate diagnosis and treatment of our injuries.
Oh my goodness. Did you say 5 concussions?
5. With my athletic background and being a young woman when I started playing, I just didn't have that muscle mass to fight against people appropriately. So each one that I've gotten has successively been more difficult to overcome just because that injury has been worse each time. So thankfully, I haven't had one in about 8 years now. And so I'm really on the path to recovery, but it's been a lot of difficult steps along the way. And I'm just hoping that I can help others by sharing my story.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. I think anytime you can use a platform that's very personal, to you, it means even much more, than someone who's just, who has a passion about something else. But you are speaking the truth of what your experiences and everything else. So it's got to be extra special for you.
Yes. And just to see how people are impacted as technology is getting better, we have more and more therapies, and we're really learning more and more about the brain. But one of my favorite things to recognize is brain injuries are the invisible injury. So like so many other injuries and diagnoses, we have to make sure that we are patient with people because we can't physically see what they're dealing with behind the scenes.
Yeah, that's amazing, man. We thank God that you're doing much better now, and we get the opportunity to see you as a new Miss Oregon USA 2021. Now, I hate to say this, but you're about 1 inch taller than me, which is not.
Well, taking you a basketball here.
Now I'm not going to do that to embarrass myself or embarrass you. So.
Yeah, I got a really awesome sponsor trainer. I can get you connected.
There you go. So I'm so excited to have you today for sure. And, you are a very interesting young lady. But before we dive into all the things that you do, including refereeing, ladies and gentlemen, she's actually a referee. So let's look at your journey. Let's look at your excitement, and you let me know how you feel when you watch this video. So stay tuned.
Are you ready? Your new 2021 Miss Oregon USA is Allison Cook. And the first runner-up is Hannah Patterson.
Wow, that's amazing, man. That's amazing. So I like to ask this question all the time. So what's going through your head right now as you watch yourself being crowned? I know it's 6 weeks, but how do you feel?
It was just such an emotional moment. I was grateful enough to have my family there with me, and our ownership group, Maureen and David with Pageants Northwest Productions, did everything that they could to make sure that it was a COVID-safe pageant with all of our restrictions in place. So when I watch that, I'm just celebrating the many hours that I've put in for the past, 9 years, developing myself and getting ready for such an opportunity as this.
Absolutely. And shout out to Maureen and David. This broadcast would not be possible if it wasn't for Northwest Productions, for all their grace and their gratitude and their love for us and everything else. We've just made friendships over the years. That's just countless, with countless memories, rather. I'm just so excited for them, for their journey, to watch them move from one aspect of business to the next. It's just amazing to watch them. And they're doing a fantastic job of taking care of you guys. So, yes.
Absolutely. They work really, really hard to have everything that we need. So thank you. They're pretty awesome.
Yeah. So you alluded yourself to something, so you are pretty much a pandemic queen yourself, if given an opportunity, would you rather do it in a moment like this or in a different setting when everything is safe and ready to go? So do you feel like you're robbed off of your spotlight for being a queen during the pandemic?
No, I'm someone who's faith-based, and I really feel like everything works out how it's supposed to. I truly believe that my story and my impact on this nation needs to happen now. And I really can't imagine doing that if everything was back to normal. I'm able to really focus in and utilize opportunities like this virtually to connect with people that I would never have the opportunity to connect with otherwise. So this is my time. I am claiming it, and we're moving forward every single day with grace and excitement for the future.
Absolutely, absolutely. You have just spot on, spot on. So, obviously we have different followers from all over the world. If people are watching you right now, from Africa, from England, from the Caribbean, so what would you like them to know about you? Like, what's so interesting about your life? Why should somebody follow you? They shouldn't follow you just because of your crown and everything, but what's more interesting about your life right now?
I am someone who is really passionate about a whole lot of different things. I'm a healthcare worker. I'm a model. I am a pageant queen. I'm a musician. We talked about the brain injuries. A lot of the influencers or people who really you want to follow on social media have their one niche. And I can guarantee you better hop on, follow our state motto, "She flies with her own wings," because I am all over the place and I can't wait to share my journey with every single one of you.
Absolutely. Now, Allison, you're a perfectionist. You want everything to be done systematically and just perfect. So how do you balance yourself as you do all these things that you always do?
Getting a good night's sleep really helps me stay organized. I'm somebody who lives by my calendar and tries to write everything down so that I don't forget anything, but also just trying to be patient. I'm not in control of everything, and we just have to take it one day at a time and do the best that I can in every situation.
That patient you are, for sure. So let's take a look at some of the things that you do behind scenes so folks can get the picture of what you're talking about. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Allison Cook, Miss Rose City, USA. Some people know me as the tall traveling woman. I love exploring nature and take any chance I get to go outside.
I'm a clinical imaging specialist for GE Healthcare.
Basically, that means I teach people how to use surgical x-ray machines, and I fly all over the country. I cover 14 different states. I am a sports fanatic. I absolutely love basketball. I played college volleyball, and now I've even switched to refereeing.
Swings down the line, that one will be in.
I also started playing the violin at age 5, and it is one of my favorite ways to express myself. 6 years ago, I began working as a freelance model. Print and bridal are pretty awesome, but I think runway has to be my favorite. I decided to compete in the Miss Oregon U.S.A. pageant because I wanted to be a part of a brand that was truly making a difference for women all across the country. How are you bettering yourself? I'm making sure that I dedicate myself to living a healthy lifestyle. It's time for you to be the champion of your life. This is an opportunity to reevaluate what you're made of. Can't wait to see you on stage. Connect with me at AllisonCook.com.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, what a story. If you're joining us right now, you're watching Channel A TV with a special guest, Miss Allison Cook, who happens to be the queen in Oregon. So she's actually the reigning Miss Oregon USA. So we are so thankful to have her into the studio right now. So let's bring her back. Miss Allison, that's just amazing to watch your story, to see you unfold from one level to the next. But the center of it all is actually sports. At what age in life did you discover that you are actually athletic?
Oh, I must admit, I don't know if I'm actually athletic or I'm just really excited and passionate about it. You mentioned earlier my height. So I'm 6'1". Right. My father, who you probably saw in that video, he's actually 6'7".
6'7".
Yes, a young age. Oh, well, he did play basketball. He played a little bit of baseball as well. But basketball was his main sport. And knowing that I was probably going to be tall, my parents put me in dance at a really young age. So from dance to basketball to volleyball, I even did some t-ball. But again, I just always loved competing. I loved working with other people, being a part of a team. And I learned so much, even having the opportunity to play volleyball in college. So it was an incredible journey. But again, I don't know if I'm really athletic or if I'm just really passionate about team sports and working with other people.
So it's always compete, compete, compete. Remind me of the Seahawks because they every Thursday it's there's always competition, right? Like every day is named after some level of competition. So anyway, so that's a whole different story, but we love it. We love it. We love it. So you are 6'1". You just said it yourself. So do you feel like being so tall is an advantage to you as a person, or is it a disadvantage?
Both, really. I mean, I stand tall, I'm noticeable. But with that, I think sometimes people can be intimidated. Now, I would like to think that by the time you talk to me, you see my personality. I have a big heart and I care a lot about people. But my bold presence, I feel like can sometimes come off as really strong. So
Yeah.
I love being tall. I wouldn't change it for absolutely anything. And I can guarantee you, I'm usually rocking my 5 or 6 inch heels. So I wouldn't change anything about it.
Yeah, so and you're tall and you actually wear high heels as well, so that just makes it even, you can't fly under the radar at all. So
No, for good or for bad, huh? So it keeps me accountable.
that's right, that's right. So let's talk about your professional life as a clinical imaging specialist. What's that like? For a queen like yourself. So what do? You wake up in the morning. What's the first thing that you do all the way into work?
So everything is completely different. Like you mentioned, I'm a clinical imaging specialist with GE Healthcare. That's kind of mumbo jumbo. So what I really do is I teach people how to use surgical X-ray equipment, and I fly all over the country. Right now, I'm primarily covering about 12 states, and I'm the only one in the state of Oregon that does this job. But I work in and out of surgeries all across this nation, making sure that people know how to use, again, X-ray equipment. So every day for me is different. Sometimes I'm on a plane at 5 a.m. Sometimes I'm in a hospital operating room by 7 a.m. They've even flown me across the country just for one neurosurgery case. So I've had to learn to stay on my toes, be flexible, but also grow up. It's important that I'm putting precedence and emphasis on our medicine and making sure that people are prepared so we're taking care of our patients appropriately.
Yeah, so now I understand where your perfectionist, comes from. It's, from your professional life as well, right? So we need folks like you definitely to make sure that we stay safe and the operations, the surgeries are going well, and that knowledge that we take for granted. So a person like you actually, impacts our lives, from your perspective, right? With what you do, right?
Absolutely. I'm working with physicians, I'm working with nurses, I'm working with X-ray techs or radiologic technologists. It's all about teamwork and making sure that people feel comfortable with our state-of-the-art imaging equipment so that these surgeries go off without a hitch and we have better outcomes for our patients.
Absolutely. Now, Allison, just moving over to the next slide, since we are on the topic of being healthy and stuff like that, obviously we're living through the pandemic right now. From your perspective, there are a lot of people, especially folks of color, who are very, very skeptical about the vaccine. I'm going to ask you, from your perspective, as someone who's watching this and they're very skeptical about taking the vaccine, perspective when it comes to that.
Well, as a healthcare professional, it was very important for me to get the vaccine to protect myself and protect everybody that I'm around. Now, I'm not here to change your opinion. I believe everybody needs to make a decision for what's best for your body. However, I urge you to consider what we have available to us right now. There are only so many options to get our nation up and running and on our feet. The 3 companies that have come out with a vaccine have done everything in their power to make a safe option to bring our country out of this epidemic and to keep everybody safe and healthy. So I would encourage you to get the vaccine, but please do your research because I would never want anybody to feel forced or uncomfortable about something with their body.
Very well said. Very well said. And so, we know that you're not that old, but now at least you qualified to get a vaccine. So have you had your shot yet?
I have. I've had my shot, and it was very important again because I travel all the time. So the process wasn't near as scary as I would have expected. I actually had pretty favorable outcomes as I was healing from it. And so again, I would just urge you to get in touch with your local medical professionals. And if you can, get signed up because you're not only protecting yourself, but you're protecting everybody around you too.
Absolutely. Now, Allison, so when you wake up first thing in the morning, what's the first thing that you do? Do you drink coffee? Do you watch the news? What do you do? Like you just roll out of bed? What's the first thing that you do?
So I'm one of those crazy people that has to make their bed right when they get out of it. I just feel like it's my way to have control over starting with a clean slate I am a big coffee drinker, especially living here in Portland, Oregon. We have an incredible coffee scene. So I'll make some coffee. I'll pop on the news. And then I also like reading the devotional. Again, I mentioned I was faith-based, but any type of morning meditation or prayer really helps get me in the right mindset so I'm ready for my day.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm with you on that one. I think the only difference that for me, I roll out of bed and then remember that I have to, But anyway, that's the difference. Oregon is very, very lucky as a state to have you as a queen in 2021. If there's anybody from Oregon that's what right now is watching, what should they expect from you when it comes to just your reign and the excitement of the next 1 year that you're going to be the queen in Oregon? What do you hope to change when it comes to just not only policy, but also just everyday activities that impact others in the state of Oregon? So what should they expect from you?
You can expect a hard worker. I mean, balancing my career is one thing, but I wanted to be Miss Oregon so I can give back to all of the communities around me. We have some incredible events coming up, especially with Best Buddies Oregon. We have a walk that's coming up. I want to advocate for brain injury awareness all across the state. And as our schools begin to open back up, I cannot wait for that opportunity to get working with children again, encouraging them to live a healthy lifestyle and to really apply themselves, take care of their mental health, and take care of everybody around you.
Excellent, excellent. That's what I meant when I said the state of Oregon is lucky to have you. That's exactly what I meant. You heard it from Miss Allison. So we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to dive into the other life of Miss Allison here real quickly. So stay tuned. We'll be right back here at Channel A TV. Stay tuned. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. This is Davis here at Channel A TV. We appreciate your support all these years for tuning in and just giving us the encouragements to keep going as we bring you different stories from folks in the community, their success stories, and how they overcame. So today is not any other different day. We have a special guest, Miss Allison Cook, who happens to be Miss Oregon USA 2021. So we are so excited. Miss Allison, you are a blogger yourself, so you understand the importance of content, of creating content. As they say, content is king. So, from your perspective, how do you prepare to be on social media? What's the first thing that you carry? Because I know that most of the folks that are watching right now, they're somehow, somewhat trying to be on social media, trying to be like you. So how do you prepare? What tools do you carry around as you fly from one part of the country to the next? How do you prepare yourself for, to blog?
So I recently started a blog. It's called Tall Traveling Woman, and it was really to document all the amazing sights that I get to see as I travel our country for work. My go-to object in my backpack is a tripod with one of those little remotes. So what I can do with it is when I go for a hike, I just set it up on a rock and I'm able to take pictures of the scenery, without interfering with anything else. I just am shocked at how easy it is to generate content. And then from that point, it's just kind of sharing it with the world. So whatever's on your heart is what I tend to talk about. And it's just pretty awesome that you could take it with you.
Absolutely. And how do you respond to some of the mean tweets and mean comments that come at you sometimes? Because, it doesn't matter what you do. There's always somebody who's on the other side. So how do you handle that yourself?
I really need some processing time with it. I feel like I take a lot of things to heart, which is something that I'm really working on. But recognizing that that person just has a mean spirit and obviously recognizing that it's inappropriate behavior, but I tend to just block them. For me, it's the easiest way to move past and know that I'm sharing what's on my heart. And if that's not important to them, then they can remove themselves from my life or I'll do it for them.
Absolutely. You do it for them. You do them a favor by blocking them, right? So
yeah, we'll get out of there.
If you're watching this, ladies and gentlemen, be nice to Miss Allison Cook. She's as beautiful as it comes. She's as nice as it comes. We definitely need to support her. Definitely. If people are trying to be part of your journey, how can they connect with you on social media? What are your social media handles that people can connect with you?
So the easiest way to connect with me is to follow me at Miss OR USA. That's where all of my amazing sponsors will be at, the Pageants Northwest Sister Queens, and everything to do with my title. I also run Allison E. Cook. That's where I put a little bit more of my personal stuff if you want another inside look at what I'm up to.
Absolutely, absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to support Miss Allison, you can see the link scrolling down there. Please join the conversation with her, connect with her. Like I said, she's nice, so just support as much as you can. And Allison, going forward, what are your dreams? Like, what do you've accomplished a lot already right now. So what are your dreams going forward? What do you want to achieve in life for you to feel like, okay, I've reached the climax of my life? And what are some of the things that interest you in terms of growth and just prosperity in general?
My goal is to really leave a legacy, and I feel like I can do that in a bunch of different arenas. I absolutely love my job in healthcare, and I get to work with GE Healthcare, which is on the forefront of innovation for new medical devices. So I would love to combine my experience in healthcare and my passion for sports as a sports reporter, but from the referee's perspective. And I also feel like my advocacy with brain injury awareness, with the hope for policy changes and encouraging people to lead a healthy lifestyle, will all kind of bundle into this legacy that I'm hoping to leave for others.
Absolutely. So now, you mentioned that obviously we know that you're a referee professionally, and when you're out there, you're a human being. You have feelings. You have sometimes you have preferences of things. You like red, over blue, or vice versa. So if two teams are competing, and you happen to like one of the teams, and you're a referee, how do you stay professional? How do you stay in the middle? What do you have to do? Where do you have to go mentally to make sure that you don't make mistakes based on your passion and your emotions?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's not my job to dictate who the winner is, especially if I'm doing a high school game. The athlete should dictate who the winner is by the better team. My job is to deal with the infractions. So I do my absolute best to go by the book, as they would say. We have rules that dictate what we should be calling and what we shouldn't call. So the more that I can make it very plain and simple, black and white, as people say, the game will figure itself out. But I just focus on the rules that I should be calling and keeping people safe.
Absolutely. Very, very well said. Now, I just wondered, I work with the NFL, and I do some stuff with the NFL, FIFA, MLS. It's really interesting when I watch the refs, because sometimes, we don't even pay attention to the refs. But for me, when I'm taking photos, when I'm on the field, I also try to create the stories, because if you look around you, the refs also have stories. Like right now, we have very, very proud to have some of the female, referees representing, the ladies out there in the NFL. So that's amazing. That's amazing. So looking forward, if there's a kid right now who is watching, they're bullied in school because they're too short, they're too tall, you've gone through that, you shared that behind scenes, what is your message to one of the kids that are watching you right now, and they're going through all types of stuff, any types of bullying, what would you say to encourage them?
Life gets better. In the moment, some of these actions can seem like the absolute worst things that are ever happening to you. But one of these days, you'll be able to look back and say, wow, that happened for a reason. There are many times in my life where I was not the cool kid, or I made decisions potentially against other people that I'm not proud of. And so my hope is that stay to your path, find things that you're passionate about, surround yourself with people who love you and care about you in the same way that you love and care about them. The more that you can empower others and get involved in things that you're passionate about, the easier it will be to deal with those naysayers, with the hope that one day you can recognize that that behavior was not acceptable, but you are stronger because of it. And hopefully you will never do those same actions to somebody else.
Wow. Very, very powerful. Now it all makes sense. Now I understand why you're the Miss Oregon U.S.A. 2021. Thank you so much for your sentiments about just empowering the young ladies and the young women and the young men out there who are struggling with life, especially through the pandemic. So, Allison, I'm going to give you an opportunity as well to ask me any question that you'd love to ask, so that we can have a conversation about that briefly before we turn back to you as well.
If you could have one type of ice cream, what would it be and why?
It's vanilla, no questions asked. It's
vanilla. Oh, come on.
Really boring,
I couldn't have asked you anything, but I was thinking that no one's asked you about ice cream, so I figured I'd give it a shot.
Yeah, man, that's a good question, actually, because I deal with everything I deal with is very hands-on, very complicated and stuff like that. Stressful, you name it, exciting, everything combined, right? So if I pull up, I'm trying to get some ice cream, I go for the simplest thing, make it simple, just vanilla, and everybody will look at you like vanilla, like that's, and yeah. But anyway, that's my honest answer to you. So thank you for that question. I'm gonna ask you a question as well. What's your guilty pleasure?
Oh, my guilty pleasure. Are we talking like sweet treats or?
You pick. I mean, it's wide open.
Oh my, well, there's a local bakery in town. It's called Two Sweet Cakes, and they are gluten-free and dairy-free and have so many different options.
That's not a guilty pleasure. Gluten-free?
Well, for me it is. Unfortunately, I have a bunch of food allergies. But I will tell you, they make their own like pastries, cinnamon rolls, donuts. Oh my gosh. I think all of those combined would be my guilty pleasure.
I see. I get it. Definitely. And, I've asked this question before, you've done pageantry for many years now. What's been your one consistent question that you hear all the time when you hear judges, picking up the microphone and about to ask you? Because I've had the opportunity to judge so many pageants in my whole life. And for you, what's been one of the most interesting questions that you hear the most?
I would say the most frequent is just why? Why are you competing in pageants? Why is this relevant? Why does it matter? And to that, I have to say, pageantry provides opportunities for women that you would never get in other fields. Goodness, even the opportunity to speak with you and to visit with people all over the country, I would not have if it wasn't for pageantry. Pageantry is really that platform giving you the backing of a national organization and kind of that golden ticket to contact any company or organization in the world to learn, to grow, and to give back to everybody around you. So it's why pageantry? Why is this the direction that women should be investing in? And I can tell you what, it has changed my life. From the relationships that I've made, the scholarships that I've earned. I am not the same Allison as I was 9 years ago when I started this journey. And that's something that I can attribute all to pageantry. So I guess that would be my encouragement to you is if you have ever thought about challenging yourself and getting more involved in your community, finding a local pageant is an incredible way to do so. And I really don't think that you'll regret it. I think it will change your life.
Very well said, Allison. Definitely very well said. And, pageantry is actually cool if you get to know it, because you guys have the glamour, you have the passion, you have the compassion, you have all these things combined, and you get to dress up and look good and feel good. Speaking about feeling good and dressing up, we have the Global Beauty Awards coming up in just a few weeks. How excited are you for that?
I can't believe it. We have so many sponsor visit plans. We have this huge awards gala, which I get to meet you in person and celebrate. It's going to be an incredible opportunity. And I'm pretty sure there are still a few tickets available. So if you're interested in joining us, make sure you check out our website, and I'll make sure to be posting about the Global Beauty Awards.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're looking and watching us right now, you're wondering what we're talking about. We're talking about the Super Bowl of pageantry, the Global Beauty Awards. Take a look at this.
Thank you so much. What an honor. What a thrill this is. I want to dedicate this award to Pamela. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to be here. I'm a change maker. I'm powerful. My name is Megan Gordon, and I am a pageant queen.
To come to America and to win this, I truly cherish it. So thank you to Ekta and Sri, and thank you very much, Maureen. It's a true honor. Thank you.
But I always love coming here, and I'm so excited to be here. Just uplifting. I think right now it's important that we feel good. And one of my favorite sayings I always say is, choose to be happy. And I think everyone tonight has made that decision. We all here choose to be happy and look good while we do it.
This is an event that is like the Academy Awards for the pageant industry. And it's the one and only of its kind. So it's really quite exciting to be here.
Oh, thank you so much. I wasn't expecting this. First, I have to do this.
I am so happy I won this.
Wow. What is this like
Lifetime Achievement Award really mean to you?
I think it's to honor all the barriers that I've broken through. And I always tell people that you may be the first, but you don't want to be the last in the field, that you're going to pave the way for others. And that's my hope. I can pave the way for other women to move forward.
But it's such an amazing event. It's once a year and we all get to see each other.
So it just gives us great pleasure and a heartfelt appreciation that we have a venue like this where we can bring everybody across the world to join together to celebrate pageantry.
But I'm having the most amazing time. I'm a little nervous, but I'm really not prepared to receive this award.
I never thought this would happen, but I told myself be prepared just in case. I'm not.
Do good, because every action that you take for the betterment of our society does actually, in the end, create a positive impact. So don't shy away.
It's done so well and so eloquently, and the women are beautiful and talented. I'm just so happy to be here.
This is the event where you run into all your sisters.
My mother would tell me, she said, you know what, the race doesn't go to the swift, but to the one that endures. And so I endured and kept going and kept running and kept going.
If you have someone that you would like to nominate for next year's award show, then please visit theglobalbeautyawards.com to become a voting member and nominate a person who is inspiring and uplifting within the pageant industry.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. You heard it here first. If you want to be a part of the Global Beauty Awards coming up, please go to the website, go to the official website, check it out, see what they're all about. Like I said before, it's a Super Bowl of pageantry. So we are so excited to make sure that this year we are there. And I'm actually honored and so proud to be nominated this year as well. So if you want to check me out, definitely catch me on the red carpet at the Global Beauty Awards. We are having a conversation with Miss Allison Cook, all the way from Oregon, the state of Oregon. I almost said Washington because I'm in Washington, but she's in Oregon and I'm in Washington. So stay tuned. When we come back, we're going to have the last few questions for Miss Allison. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in. We'll be right back. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us. We are having a great conversation with our friend, Miss Allison Cook, all the way from Oregon, having a great conversation about her life story and everything else and all these accomplishments. I can't even speak. That's how excited I am to have you, Allison. And definitely, man, congratulations for becoming the queen in the state of Oregon. And we are just so proud for what you've done all these years and to finally get to be crowned as a queen. How does it feel after trying all these years to be where you are right now? I know you've done a lot of amazing things, but how does it feel to be a queen right now, especially through the pandemic?
It feels incredible. I'm just so excited for the opportunities that are coming. The Miss USA date and location have already been announced. So in November, I'll get to go to Tulsa, Oklahoma, and meet all of my sisters as we compete for the title of Miss USA and hopefully then Miss Universe. So I'm so grateful for Maureen and David of Pageants Northwest Productions, for all of the opportunities and all of our sponsors for everything that they've done to get us ready for those big moments.
Absolutely. So we can't wait to watch you on TV, and we're going to be like, I know her. Hopefully, we'll catch you on the red carpet. Shout out to Miss USA. They've been doing a fantastic job to make sure that you ladies stay safe, and making sure that we still get entertained. And most importantly, put the information that's needed through the platform of pageantry, through you ladies who are doing a fantastic job in the community. So, Allison, as we come to the end of the show, I wanted to make sure that we acknowledge everybody who's been part of your journey this far, beginning with your family. Who would you like to acknowledge? I know it's a long list, but if you can remember, please, who would you like to thank that have been a part of your journey this far?
I don't even think I could begin to talk about the amount of people that have come out and rallied around me for the many years that I've been involved in pageantry. My mom and dad and my sister have been there through it all, so I'm incredibly grateful for them. And I've worked with many coaches along the way that I really don't think I'd be here if it wasn't for them. I mentioned earlier we have a whole bunch of sponsors, and a few that I'd like to highlight. Queen Bee Boutique actually gave me these earrings. Worked with quite a bit with Giselle Boone and her consulting. I work with Carrie Damiano, Queen's Conversation Jimmy, get spray tans by Glow by Georgia. List goes on. Fresh Faces, they're another one of my big sponsors. And so we have a whole list. I can't even begin to talk about how incredible it's been working with them and working with so many people along my journey. So thank you so much. If I didn't mention you, you're no less important to me, and I cannot wait to see what's in store.
Absolutely, absolutely. And actually, if you missed that point, ladies and gentlemen, Allison is a very, very good model. So, you know, on the high fashion side, you know, where would you like to go in terms of, you know, just your dreams in general? What would you like to accomplish from the high fashion side?
Gosh, sky's the limit, I think. I'm really hoping to try to attend New York Fashion Week in fall this year and would love to make some connections there. I do a lot of work in the bridal community and would love to branch out to more runway and potentially even swimwear. So I'm looking forward to see what connections I make this year and would love to get signed with a national agency and start traveling.
Like I call it, it's a shameless plug. So I just give it to you. So ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching,
take every second of it.
Absolutely. But you know what they say, ask and you shall receive, right? So I happen to have access to New York Fashion Week. We are some of the people that actually cover the New York Fashion Week for many years now. So we can talk offline and see how we can plug you in. And if you visit the state of Washington, which we hope that you do soon, you know, please let me know. We do have a lot of friends who are high fashion designers here who can absolutely get the opportunity to make sure that they support you in your fashion journey as well. But right now we're talking about, you know, your journey as a pageant queen. So, which is very, very, very exciting. And, you know, one of the questions that I love to ask last, but the most important question for me to you is this: you know, when it's all said and done, how would you like to be remembered?
I want to be remembered for how I love and serve other people. At the end of the day, this journey is not for me. This journey is how I can impact and encourage people to be better than they are right now. Empowering others is really how I feel the most gratitude in my life and how I see the most changes in really my life. So my hope is that people see my heart for service, my heart for other people, and my desire to make the world a better place than it is.
Wow. Oregon, the state of Oregon, is lucky to have you as a queen. So we appreciate you. You are just an amazing young lady. I can't thank you enough for what you've done this far, you know, for pushing the community to be better through your skills, whether it's sports or pageantry, fashion. You know, we just thank you enough. We can't even thank you enough for all the things that you've done in the community so far. But we're just highly, highly appreciative of your existence and your position right now as a queen, as Miss Oregon USA 2021. So any last words for anybody who's watching you right now as we close?
Just a big thank you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Davis, thank you for your time. And if people happen to have community events or causes that they're really passionate about, feel free to get a hold of me. On the bottom, I know it's been scrolling across, and those are my social media handles. At Miss Oregon USA, at Allison E. Cook. I would love to connect with you, learn what you're passionate about, and see what I can do to help. So reach out, and hopefully I'll get to talk with you all sooner.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, there she is, Miss Allison Cook, all the way from Oregon, Washington. Oregon, I just wanted to move to Washington so bad. You know, that's what it is. Now I figured it out. Why am I bringing Washington into this whole thing? Now I figured it out. I want you to move to Washington. I'm not trying to start a fight as it is. You know, but thank you so much. Thank you, Allison. We appreciate you. Thank you for your humility and just your passion and your patience. Thank you for waiting on me to say, okay, I'm going to give him time. We'll do the interview as the time comes. I appreciate you. You know, I just wish you nothing but luck, and I'm looking forward to seeing you at the Global Beauty Awards coming up.
Yes, I can't wait. Thank you.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this broadcast, please follow Miss Allison here on social media, everywhere, on every platform. Allison E. Cook on every platform, or you can find her as Miss Oregon USA, which is Miss ORUSA, and you should be able to get hold of her. You're watching the presentation of Meet the Queens here at Channel A TV. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Have a good night, and we'll catch you soon. God bless you.